We're here live in Fort Worth at the Stockyards for the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. Now, I have with me Valeria Cunningham Howard. She is the CEO and president. So, Miss Valeria, I wanted to ask you a few questions. First off, what inspired you to get involved into the rodeo and start the invitation?
Well, let me tell you the true story. My deceased husband, Lou Vasson, is the one that started the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. He went to a rodeo in Cheyenne, Wyoming, called Cheyenne Frontier Days back in 1977. And when he went to that rodeo, he noticed that he didn't see anybody that looked like him. And that sparked interest with him. And he said, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
He went back and did a lot of research and found out that there were thousands of black cowboys and cowgirls across the country, but they were having a hard time getting
together,
yes.
yeah, with the resources
and
and
so
everything.
he said, you know what? I can do a rodeo. I can put together a Black Rodeo Association.
Wow.
So he did that in 1984.
What?
Yes.
Whoa.
The first rodeo was in 1984 in Denver, Colorado.
Wow.
And since that time, the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo has grown. We've traveled to 32 cities across the United States. And now we have two tours. We have our Texas Connection Tour that we come here to Cowtown Coliseum 4 times a year.
Wow, okay.
February, May, June for Juneteenth, and in August. And then we have our Legacy Tour that travels from Denver, Colorado, Memphis, Tennessee, Oakland, California,
oh my God,
Los Angeles, California, and Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, good. That's the one.
And
sounds
then
like
we
it. Yeah.
do our finals
Whoa.
in Washington, D.C., Upper Marlboro County.
Yeah.
So we are the first and we are the only African-American traveling rodeo association in the world.
Wow.
So, you know, Lou passed away in 2015.
Okay.
So I had a decision to make about whether I would keep the legacy going. And I got so many calls, so many emails where people reached out to me.
They were like, we need you. Yeah.
We need you to do this. So we are 41 years strong now.
Awesome. Okay. Explain to me what we were just talking about, how the Cowboys are ranked and how they can get to the finals.
Absolutely. Great question. So the top 10 cowboys and cowgirls are invited to the finals in Washington, D.C. In order for them to get there, they have to have attended so many rodeos in both of our series, and they have to be the top money winners.
Okay.
So those are the top 10. Everybody gets excited. That's why the rodeo is so competitive, because people are trying to win this money so they can get to the finals, because we have a lot of fun. They win a lot of prizes, a lot of money.
Yeah.
Saddles, buckles, coolers, Crown Royal bags, everything. It's just a big celebration.
Awesome, man. That just sounds like a time to be had, especially being in Texas. So, what's your favorite part of the rodeo? For a lot of people here in Texas, they always gravitate towards the bulldogging. But what is yours in particular?
You know, I love seeing the young people.
Oh, okay.
We have different events for our juniors, our up and coming, because nothing that you build can survive without the future generations. And we have embraced our young people, and we're training them and giving them an opportunity to develop their skills and perform all across the United States. So when you see our junior breakaway ropers, our junior barrel racers, our pee-wee barrel racers.
Ooh.
We have pee-wees that are 4 to 7 years old that compete.
Oh, I love it.
And then our junior tie-down ropers. So, you know, that I get excited about. I love seeing the other, the big boys, big boys and big girls also, because they have been traveling up and down the road with me for 41 years, and they are competitors.
Right.
And then to see the new people coming and joining the association and just seeing the camaraderie and the competition is fun. So
it's like building a family.
I love everything about
I love the whole
rodeo.
thing. I love that. But to see that the juniors have your eye, I mean, that's where the next up and coming talent is coming from. So I can speak to that's who's most interested in this type of stuff.
Because when you build a legacy, you want somebody to keep it going. And in order for us to do that, we have to depend on our future generation. So, you know, we need to train them and give them the opportunities. I was talking to one of our little juniors a couple rodeos ago. I think we were in Memphis, and she said, you know, I'm just so excited. I never thought I would be performing in front of thousands of people. And she was nervous.
Oh, right.
You know, but just think about it. She was nervous, but she did it. You are developing stamina, you know, in our young people, and character and determination. So that's what makes me exciting.
Man, to become a person of stature to where you can walk into a room and be a leader. You know what I mean? That is
feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
Feel good about yourself.
I love it. So, just wrapping up here because I don't want to take too much of your time. What do you want fans to take away from this interview that they might want to come out to the one that's happening in August?
Well, the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo, I think everybody should have the experience. First, we were the first. And we kind of tag ourselves the first, the only, and the original. And what we try to do is give people a combination of things to be proud about. Be proud about themselves first. Be proud about our race, that we were able to put something together like this that travels all over the United States. We have a following. All of our rodeos are sold out. People are biting at the bits for tickets and stuff. And we want them to come, have fun. It's family friendly. And then they're going to be educated. If you don't know this, there are a lot of people that don't know that black cowboys and cowgirls exists. So you come and you get that realization presented to you. And we rodeo with soul. We have fun. We have our own music. We make it an entertainment. So you're going to walk away with three things. You're going to walk away having some education. You're going to walk away being entertained with the greatest show on dirt. And you're going to walk away and say, I had an amazing time, and I am so proud of our people. And if everybody walks away with that, I feel good that the task has been delivered.
Yes, that is a great thing to walk away with. I mean, I feel like you're not charging enough if they're walking away. That sense of pride, though, that you can walk away and feel like, I'm proud about some stuff I never even knew. They just taught me about it, and I'm already, you know what I mean? That's the type of stuff that people need to know. So,
and you know, I do this. It takes a lot of work, but I do this to lift our race up, make us proud, And as you said, to hold our heads up and know we can do anything that we want to do. And we can do it at an excellent level. And people told my deceased husband when he started this rodeo, it would never last, it wouldn't be successful. But we have thousands of people that follow us every year. And they feel like this is their rodeo. And it goes back to what you said. They feel proud. And I love after the rodeo, I usually stand out front and greet people and thank them. And just to see them smiling with their heads up, it means everything to me.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's priceless. So I appreciate your time, Miss Valeria. And we'll look forward to talking to you maybe in August or when you guys come back around.
Absolutely. And thank you.
Hello, everyone. We're now here with Miss Margo LaDrew. And so, Miss Margo, I have a few questions for you after follow-up with Miss Valeria. So just to get into more of behind-the-scenes stuff, because she tells me that you guys have 2 series of tours. You have the Texas Connect and then the Legacy, and then you also have finals.
Yes.
So the behind the scenes, what does the travel and logistics look like, and you guys coordinating all that? Can you speak to that and the task that is?
Well, you know what? When you're traveling with animals,
Yeah.
it's always a risk. And so one of the things we can say with the cowboys and cowgirls, this is like a family. So when they're on the road, some of them are trailing each other. And even if something happens and somebody has an accident or need help, then what happens is they'll call on the radio and you will see other trucks coming and other cowboys and cowgirls coming to try to help to make sure that everything is okay.
That's a sight.
So that's what we have to do too, because you just never know. And with animals, big animals, you travel and you have to stop every couple of hours or so they can get out and be able to walk their legs. It's not like driving the car and riding for 5 and 6 and 7 hours. 3 hours at the max. They're stopping, letting the horses get out, walk their legs. Because you have to remember, most of the time, the horses are standing, they're not laying down when they're in the trailer. So that is a lot because they're traveling across the country. And when we go to our finals, which is in D.C., that is area typically is not a horse country. You got me?
Yeah.
It's a lot of freeway.
Right.
So when you're driving in Oklahoma and Texas and places, you can stop. But when you start getting to the East Coast, that's where it becomes difficult. And so that's where they have to make sure they take time. They have to map out to know where they can pull over so that their animals can rest. And so, we're just happy because we've never had any major accidents in a while. I think
it was tragedy.
It was one where a trailer fell over, but nobody got killed or anything. But the animals, everything was all over the freeway. Yeah. And that's one of the times people start calling. You start seeing people come up, picking up stuff, put your horses in here. And that's what you have.
Brothers helping brothers,
sisters helping sisters, and that's what you have to do. And
that's what's up.
We started the Texas Connection because of our partnership with the PBR.
Okay.
And when we did the television show for the first time on CBS in 2020, it was the first time ever a black rodeo was on television. And so we partnered with the PBR to make that happen. And it actually happened the first day that Juneteenth became a national holiday.
Come on now.
And
if that's not divine.
If that's not divine.
I don't know what is.
No, and when I tell you, because we have a lot of celebrities, like Glenn Turman has been a Grand Marshal for going on 39 years with the rodeo.
Oh, man.
Reginald T. Dorsey, Oba Babatunde, and also James Pickens Jr. for Grey's Anatomy. And so all of them were with us at the finals. And when I tell you, we could feel our founder, Lou Fasson, in that room because we had waited so many years. And it was 38 years before ever a black rodeo was on television. And we all cried, and we could feel the energy, and even them, they were up there kind of tearing up, saying, man, we can't believe it, because they've been here so long, too, and most of them have been in Westerns. So to have been in Westerns, been a part of this rodeo, and then to actually now see it coming on TV and being a part of it, it was
surreal.
It was surreal,
Man.
I have to tell you. So that was exciting.
Yeah. So Miss Cunningham tells me that you guys put the soul in the rodeo.
Absolutely.
Right? So can you speak to that and what she, like, just being there with her, what would your take on what she said? Because that was just a powerful statement she said on that. So.
First of all, Black people is soul. Okay? So when you say the word soul, then you know that Black people are involved. Okay? That's just what it is.
That's just what it is.
And so we were known as Rodeo Soul. And that was one of the things that came of it, people tagline. Oh, that's Rodeo Soul coming in town. And we even had a magazine. Lou had a newsletter some years ago that was called Rodeo Soul that he did to put out to give information to actually for people to know about the Black rodeo. And so with us, it comes the music, the vibe, the way we dance, the way we do things. And what's so interesting now when you go to other rodeos, they're now blended our music, everything in because they know people are excited. We have all races that come to our rodeos.
Yeah, I see here in the crowd.
Yeah, and what happens is when they used to come, they'd be like, man, I've never been to a rodeo and had this much fun because it was different, the music, the everything. And so now when you go to the other rodeos, the music, the power, the whole atmosphere, and we like, okay, that's our music, that's our music, that's our music. But it's okay because that means we've influenced the culture, just like we've influenced it now in fashion because of
the boots
Beyonce
on the ground,
and the things that she's done. And you know what? And I don't know if Valeria had a chance to tell you, you know, we partnered with the Be Good Foundation last year.
No, she did not.
We gave away $500,000 with the Be Good Foundation.
Wow.
And in each city we went to, we picked 4 nonprofits in either the agriculture or those that were doing events for kids that had trail rides. They had things for kids, you know, that may have Down syndrome, different things, and their programs were struggling.
Like equine therapy and stuff like that, right?
So we selected 4 in each region. And we surprised them. They all thought they were just coming to the rodeo to be honored, where they were, and they all got a $25,000 check.
Tears,
yes,
man.
And people were so excited. And you know, Be Good has been doing a lot of stuff like this for a long time. So, and people just they don't look at the things, the underlining things that some of these celebrities do because they're quiet about it. They're not always just pushing out. But we can't thank them enough for giving us the opportunity to partner with them to help select those people that we thought were worthy enough to get it. And that was exciting.
Impact. Oh, God.
The impact.
Oh, man. So, with you guys traveling so much, I know that you love, like she said, I love everything, everybody. But do you guys have like a favorite arena that you go to, or you're like, man, I can't wait to visit here, or is it just all it's all family? So it's
I think each coordinator would say that their rodeo is the best, right? In each city.
Right.
They call my rodeo because even though I'm the National Development Director, I actually started as the Los Angeles Rodeo. So I still coordinate the Los Angeles Rodeo, and I also coordinate the Texas connection with the rodeos here. We're promoting it. And so they build our rodeo as the Hollywood Rodeo because we had all the celebrities to come out. I mean, we've had everybody from Vanessa Williams to Mike Tyson to Denzel Washington. And when I say everybody, I mean any and everybody that we've had. Gladys Knight there. And
it's the best show on dirt, right? That's what it was.
The greatest show on dirt.
The greatest show.
We had people like Lou Rawls to sing the national anthem. I mean, it has been a phenomenon. And we are so excited that we were able to start and continue to go because it was hard. But because of us doing a traveling rodeo, and now with Beyonce opening up, we've actually helped some of our other cowboys and cowgirls in their cities, support them to do rodeos. Because Bill Pickett can't go everywhere. Yeah. But we can be a leader so that we can elevate, actually. Absolutely. A blueprint so that all of these other cities can have a rodeo. Absolutely.
Imitation is the best form of flattery, I've heard.
It actually is. And we raise the bar every year.
Right. So good luck. Not like that, but like keep chasing that bar, like for the other people that are just starting out.
And you know, we also was the first place that a lot of the black country singers could sing, because they would come win the rodeo and just pick their guitar, you know, sing, get tips. We were one of the first rodeo to stop actually celebrate Lift Every Voice, which is our black national anthem. And so with traveling, that was a part of our rodeo, the black flag. And so people learned history about what the flag meant, what Lift Every Voice meant, and it has become a staple too in all the black rodeos across the country. And with Lou, our founder, was a big music promoter. And so for the 40th anniversary, we brought music back and we launched the first soul country music star competition.
Come on.
And so we had a regional finals competition in every city we went to, and we brought the top finalists back to Hollywood. Last year, we crowned the first $10,000 winner, and who was Kirk J. He actually was a competitor on The Voice.
Yeah.
And so
people know that.
Yes. Yeah. And so he actually travels with us to the rodeos this year that we're doing a soul country music star. So we're excited to launch the second phase this year. And next month we'll be doing it in Los Angeles, which will be the regional finals. Then going to Atlanta, DC. Then we'll be doing it here. Atlanta, then back here for the regional finals. Yeah. Then DC, and then we bring them back to Hollywood again in October to crown the second year. So now we're helping to also bring music back into the fold of it, and giving black country artists the opportunity to be able to showcase their talents.
What a platform. You guys are using it well. So I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. I could talk to y'all all day. When did you meet Valeria, or how long have you been
with the rodeo?
With the rodeo, or how did that come about? And can you speak to you guys' relationship, and especially considering that her husband was the one that started it, and now she picked it up and had that decision, and that burden can be hard to carry, and the fact that you're right there with her, can you speak to that?
Yes. Next year will be my 30th year with the rodeo, and I always tell people that I think Bill Pickett put something in either our food or drink, because you'll find out that most people have been here 20, 25, 30, 35 years. And there are several people.
39.
Yes, I've been here since the beginning, 39 and 40 years. Yeah. It's like we can't leave even if we try. So I started as the Los Angeles coordinator, working with her husband, and built a relationship, and Valeria was like the mother. And then she started traveling more and more with the rodeo and taking care of all the business stuff with Lou and handling all the business. And when he died in 2015, it was really kind of like, where do we go from here? Everybody was nervous. She was nervous. She was like, how am I going to do this? And we all pulled together and pitched in, and her and I had a meeting, and I said, Valeria, we can do this. We can do this. I'll be there for you. We'll get this. And she said, Margo, you made me excited again. I think I can do this. And she took the helm. And when I tell you she took it, because she is a business person from top to bottom. She has helped shape this rodeo so that we can elevate it. And we have been there side by side to do these deals for television, do PPR, coming back home to where Bill Pickett's statue lies, and to be a residency show in Fort Worth, where this is all things West and cowboy. And so we could run forever and keep the legacy here. And so we are so thankful that the PBR actually had faith in us and wanted to partner with us to do this. But it's been a journey, because you have to realize most of our team that's running this is female on the executive level.
Right.
And with her being in the room, it's supposed to be men, and being a black woman. You know, she was tested quite a few times. And, you know, sometimes you go through, wow, this is a lot, but I'm going to step it up and do it. And so she's been toe-to-toe. And Bill Pickett is the only nationally recognized traveling rodeo in the world. We are the only black association, traveling association in the world, that we can be on the same with the other rodeos, like the WCRA, you know,
The
all of
ones,
those
yeah, yeah,
rodeos, we can be, we're there with them, but we're the Black Association.
yeah.
So we're just excited now. Sometimes we look back and say, wow, look at where we've come from 2015 to now be in 2025. And we're looking at where we go. And the thing is now is planning for the next generation. Because in order for anything to continue to go, you wanted the elevation to continue to grow and not to backslide. And so that's where we are now, is looking at our young people.
Those juniors, that's what she said. That's her favorite part of the
favorite
rodeo.
part. Who can come up, who can train, who can learn, so that Bill Pickett can be here past when we're gone.
And
you know, that's the most important thing. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for your time, and we look forward to following you guys as you guys finish out the year.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Hello, everyone. It's Donovan Bridgeforth here with TXAN 24 News, and we're continuing our exclusive interviews with the faces behind the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo. So if you guys will start from the left and introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, Acynthia Villery, the female voice of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo.
And I am Marcus Friday. I am the voice rodeo announcer of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo.
And my name is Tiffany Gaz. I am the music director.
So after talking with Margo and Valeria, we were talking about the traveling of the rodeo. So do you guys have anything that you could tell us about maybe one of your favorite stops or what you guys like about the traveling, or if there's any challenges of the traveling?
He's about to get us in trouble, huh?
Well, you know, I really like all the stops, you know. I really like the LA part. I love the opening part because they're day rodeos, but most of all, for me, it's DC.
Finals.
I get to go in there and I get to tour Washington, D.C. and everything. That's really a highlight for me.
Awesome. How about you ladies? Not to say that there's one better than the other,
right?
But which ones do you have an affinity for? If so,
you know, like Marcus said, I like Oakland.
Okay.
It sits in a valley.
That's super cool. I've never seen it, but yeah, I can imagine.
And the American flag comes off the hill, so it kind of gives you that real country feeling. LA, of course, is that bougie. Okay, I think we look to see who's gonna wear what.
Right.
Okay.
Hello.
But I agree with Marcus on the adrenaline of the finals, because it's like who's gonna do what, you know. And but don't get in trouble. Okay.
How about you? Do you have a favorite stop?
I think my favorites are California, Atlanta. I think the hardest part about traveling with the rodeo is trying to fit all of my outfits into one suitcase. Your boots, your hat,
she got too much. Yeah. Awesome. So, do you guys have a favorite part of the rodeo? Now, Valeria said, and Margo kind of said that they love and focus on the juniors. So, is anything to speak on that you guys want to talk about? Yeah.
After the grand entry, I love the grand scrum because these guys set the pace of the rodeo.
Okay.
You know, and if the stock is good and the Cowboys is up to par, but then once that grand scrum is over, I'm ready to just get into it. So I like grand scrum.
And I guess mine is bulldogging.
Bulldogging,
because of Bill Pickett.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
that's a fan favorite. Yeah.
Event. But then the ladies' version. You know, when they come out there, you know, the ladies steering decorating. Of course, barrel racing, but I think bulldogging and steering decorating.
Okay, nice.
I would have to say I love the kid events. I love the kid interviews. But you know, my favorite on the road is relay.
Okay, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, just wrapping up here, I'm gonna give you guys a couple more questions. So, how long have you guys been with the rodeo?
I've been with them 38 years.
So you can speak to the founder and in 2015 how that transition was. Can you give us anything really quickly on that?
Wow, yeah. 2015. A couple of years prior to that, Lou wasn't on the road. So Valeria was on the road, and I traveled with her. We were roommates, and we had to be big girls. We had to take everything he taught us and put it in motion. Our most challenging was making sure we knew our directions when I'd get from the airport to the hotel. Because Lou would always laugh about, you've been there every year. Why you don't know? But he put us in the position for it to carry on. So, but he's missed, but he's always here in spirit.
Hey, for me, I started out steer wrestling when Bill Pickett first started and got the opportunity to travel to a lot of the rodeos, and the announcing part just kind of fell in my lap, and then Lou gave me an opportunity to call a few of the rodeos, and I always thank him for that. And then, things kind of evolved to where Miss Valeria gave me an opportunity as well that I think is the greatest show on dirt.
The greatest show on dirt, that's the tagline. And so how long have you been with the rodeo?
With this particular rodeo, 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your takeaway from the family build and the fact that these people will, like, I've heard stories from the other two, like, if let's say with moving with these animals and getting on that radio, and they'll have your back, they'll pull up if something happens, and you'll see a whole bunch of cowboys, cowgirls out there happy. So how do you feel with being the newbie? How have they kind of brought you into the fold, so to speak?
I knew a lot of them before now. But like the Arkansas and the Texas, Beaumont, Texas, Houston, I'm starting to get closer to those rodeo people. So like I feel like it just expanded my rodeo family outside of our Oklahoma family. So it's been great.
Awesome. Okay, and so my last question, how do you guys feel about the association that you guys have with the PBR and recently getting on television and working with Beyonce and all of the celebrities? I know that we spoke on the LA part of it, but that's nationwide, that type of stuff, that type of exposure. What do you want fans to take away from the way you guys are growing, with y'all being behind the scenes more so?
Talking about the history of the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo and the fact that we've been around 41 years. We're the original when it comes to an African-American association that tours. So we're not new to this. We've been in this. A lot of our cowboys and cowgirls have been third. Now we're looking at fourth generations. So when you look at it, Beyonce, with her music coming out, opened it up for other people, but we've been around. Marcus and Tiffany can talk about how when we go to a different state, regardless of the rodeo, people don't see animals. They don't see black cowboys and cowgirls. So for us to entertain, educate, and let them know that we're real, we've been doing this.
Yeah, you sound just like Valeria. She said those exact words, though. Like, those that are watching know that was crazy. So
actually, for me, the opportunity to be a part of the PBR that stepped in with the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo when we was in Las Vegas, that was my first opportunity to announce and be a part of that. And I know a lot of the cowboys, the bull riders in the PBR, and that's elite, to be a part with the PBR, because anybody can't get in there with them. And the fact that we're here in Cowtown Coliseum because of them, it's just great for me to try to do the best job I can and represent the PBR and the Bill Pickett Invitational Rodeo.
Yeah. And so with you have more different rodeos experiences. How have you seen the growth that you've seen with the exposure of the Bill Pickett? How have you seen that affect you and what you got going?
I think that it made all of us grow. As announcers and commentators, like I'm going down there and doing all the interviews after the runs, and it's just making me be more on my toes. As far as the music also, because in this arena there is a different crowd than there. Each market there's a different crowd.
Right. Okay.
So in every crowd you have to know how to adjust to each setting, and I think it's great. I think we're not to toot our own
no, but I'm here to toot it with you. That's why, I think you guys are doing it.
And last but not least, I couldn't be no more prouder than these two right here, because I have watched us jail.
Right, that part. That's what I want to speak to.
She came from, and I already know where they're going, and where they're going is up. And, and that's because of the Bill Invitational Rodeo, and I really appreciate you guys and love it.
Man, well, thank you guys for your time, and we look forward to following you guys as you finish out your thing for this year. Any last things you guys want to say?
Yes. We're considered the BPIR connection, but we have one more leg to us.
Okay, what is that?
That's Spanky, which is Avery Ford. He is our rodeo clown, and I mean, he helps get the crowd hyped up along with Tiffany.
That is the behind the scenes guy. Like he's the one. Yeah. So shout out to Spanky. Right.
Sometimes when the crowd
is dead, he'll go in and do something.
And if I run out of something to say, I have to find it. Spanky, where you at?
Spanky, where you at?
So, shout out to Spanky.
Shout out to Spanky. Yes. Awesome. Yes. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.